Hello, welcome to episode 4 of my Endwalker playthrough. I have made a decision. I think I made it last time, but I've confirmed it today. We're not going to do any of the Ep4 quests on camera. I'll do them in between episodes. And I'll actually end up doing not just the quest, but the entire quest chain. Because one, it'll give me a nice amount of experience, and two, they're generally speaking good side stories. Anyway, let's continue. Got 2 episodes to get through today, and it's 8:30. Alfino is gazing into the Arcanon with an apprehensive look. Well, we won't learn anything of value standing out here. Let's proceed into the main building and speak with the custodian. Where are they? Greetings. We hope to peruse the Archaeon's vaults. Peruse? You are clearly not a gleaner then. Might I ask your affiliation? We belong to the students of Baldessian, but is that relevant? I was given to believe that the vaults, those open to the public at least, were open to the public. Ordinarily, yes, that would be the case. However, at present, access is restricted. Only persons directly involved in the reorganization efforts are permitted to enter. Not us, then. I suppose we had better move along to another facility. This building has a lift which connects the middle tier, or connects to the middle tier, yes. Might we at least make use of that? That surface has also been suspended, I'm afraid. For the time being, priority has been given over to the conveyor of inventory. What, so this is as far as we can go? I apologise for the inconvenience. Please come again after our restructuring operation is concluded. By that time it'll be too late, and we were so close to getting answers. We need to rethink our approach. Let's step outside for a moment, shall we? Students of Baldessian. Can you get out of the car, please? Labyrintho is constructed in the shape of a mortar. Up on this layer is called the outer circle, and the medial circle lies 1 tier below us. If they're going to close off facilities, they ought to announce it. The students must be furious. The forum must be wary of exposure indeed to so heavily Let's try that again. The forum must be wary of exposure indeed to so heavily restrict. Oh, right, okay. It seems like there's a missing comma there. So yeah, the forum must be wary of exposure indeed, indeed to so heavily restrict the use of public institutions. Something about that sentence, it makes sense, but it just doesn't sound right. We are at an impasse. As we have no other leads, I should like to peruse this one further. But I doubt that our stone-faced custodian will be swayed by heartfelt pleas. We must seek another means to access the lower levels. It is likely that other people in this area are involved in restructuring in one way or another. If we were to ingratiate ourselves, they may allow us to accompany them on the lift. Let's ask around. Surely someone is in need of a few strong backs to lighten the load. Am I taking the lift? Oh, no, we're just students. They won't let us into the Arconian, even though we found... Actually, we have no idea what it is we found. There's no record of such a creature anywhere. But it was wandering around tranquility. So we thought to donate it to the vaults. Squeal, squeal! Oddest little squirrel, don't you think? Do you have a nutkin in there? Anyway, I suppose we have to take care of it until Arconia is open again. Do you have nutkin in there? Do you have Thancred's nutkin? Oh, there they are. What's that? Take you down the lift with me? Sorry, but not a chance. I've been up and down all day, and only now have finally found a spare moment to rest. I see a gleaner fellow heading out that gate there, though, shouldering a large package, engaging in some manner of task. Maybe he'll be heading down below after he's done with whatever it is he's doing. Much obliged for the advice. Can we jump over the fence? Gah. We cannot jump over the fence. Inside the building? Does the door open? Door does not open. They are not up here. They are not around here. Oh, there they are. Quiet, you'll frighten it away. Oh, it's you again. I didn't mean to be rude, but I'm in the middle of another task. The Cloudkin I captured, or need to capture, is very close. It's close. Very close. You wish to help me with this too? Spending your time in unusual ways, my friend. Still, 2 hunters are generally better than 1. Very well. The canal here is a common gathering spot for birds of all kinds. But the one I'm after today is a hornbill. Its feathers are green and its cry is a distinctive caw. Single it out and shoot it with a sleeping dart. The effects are short-lived, so I'll lie in wait by the riverbank to claim our quarry. Be sure to hit the right one. Yes, we know how this minigame is played. I think that's a horn. Is that a hornbill or is that a hornbill? Large beak. Looking for a green-billed. Right. Cuckoo. There we go. We're looking for the call of it. Wasted 2 darts though.
Fair shot. Nicely done. Let me truss this one up and I'll make my way over to you.
That voice sounds familiar.
There you are. Any new revelations? So you met with that gleaner again, this time to capture a hornbill.
I understand catching and bringing in creatures from the outside, but what's the point of chasing after ones already here?
Oh, it's a simple thing, really. Occasionally, we remove specimens no longer needed for study, or those we've had difficulty raising. But we can't simply turn them loose.
That's what it is. He has the same accent as the Vieira guard captain from the Crystarium, which I think is Icelandic? I'm not great with accents.
Safely returning such creatures to their native habitats is another facet of a cleaner's duties. But not in this case, I'm afraid. I've been asked to bring the bird below.
The restricted section in the lower levels of Labyrinthos. Open only to a select few researchers hand-picked by the Forum. The projects down there are the subject of rumor and hearsay. Forbidden magics. Advanced technologies that can never be allowed to fall into outside hands. Even Archons are not privy to the truth. Those who are, the researchers involved in this secretive work, are not permitted to walk freely in the city, and are instead required to live in isolated quarters.
What could a facility subject to such strict security protocols possibly need with a hornbill? An experiment?
Possibly. I wasn't afforded an explanation. But judging by the requisition list given to me and my colleagues, I doubt it's for any kind of advanced research. I'd be more inclined to believe we were making preparations to migrate to the south. Mericidia or thereabouts.
What? Why would you say that?
Much of the flora and fauna we were asked to procure could serve as reliable sources of sustenance. They're comparatively hardy species, too, able to endure harsh climates. And among them are specimens known to be effective in improving soil quality and purifying water.
When you put it that way, migration does sound like a reasonable assumption.
That's all it is, though. An assumption. Through our tasks, we gleaners glimpse only bits and pieces of the Forum's plans. Our prime concern is that our requisitions, be they living or otherwise, are properly preserved for the knowledge of future generations. Now, I really must be going. I regret that I cannot reward you as you deserve.
Perhaps you might reward us after a fashion then. It is imperative that we reach the lower levels. And seeing as you are already set to descend with your assigned cargo, mayhap we could accompany you as your assistants.
I'm afraid that won't be possible. Once the animals have been prepared for transport, we send them down separately via the lift. I will of course follow after to make my report, but I can hardly pass you off as porters when there's nothing left to carry.
How about putting us in with a bill?
Indeed. Pray forget I said anything.
How do you feel about climbing? If you've strength and the courage to brave it, then there is another way down. This path leads to the 33rd facet, a mine shaft excavated during one of our expansions of Labyrinthos. While I cannot guarantee that the passage is safe to traverse, it should provide access to the Medial Circuit below.
I never even knew such a place existed. Thank you. This is the perfect solution.
You're quite welcome, but consider yourselves warned. If the going proves too treacherous, you'd do well to turn back. I bid you good day.
Most of us will be fine. Although I'm not sure about Cryo's climbing abilities.
Well, turning back is hardly an option, not when we've come this far. Let's go and take a look at this mine shaft.
That should be to the south, which means the current is in that direction as well. Which means I'm betting there's probably one in this cave, or not this cave, the other cave. What is that cave? We'll find out later. Once we have flying unlocked, I'll uncover all the map. I won't do that on camera. Or if I do, I will do it at 3 times speed. I never would have noticed this cave on my own. Thank the scholars that Arenville knew of it, and that you were there to persuade him to share. I took a quick peek inside, but it's awfully dark in there. The Medial Circuit, which Arenville mentioned, is the tier directly below us. Unlike the lowest level of Labyrinthos, with its rigorous security, one can usually roam the middle tier quite freely. Let us see what we might find. This must be it, the entrance to the mine shaft. 'Tis faint, but I hear something moving within. Creatures homed there may be the homed there by the researchers, you think? Well, slavering beasts aside, we need to watch our footing. We should tighten our straps and such before we continue. Man-made though it may be, this shaft was designed to resemble a natural cave system. Heed Arenville's warning and do step carefully. Assuming everyone's tightened their straps and checked their gears, then I say we head on in. Given the terrain ahead though, it might be wiser to leave some distance between us. We don't want to be stumbling over each other if it comes to a fight. Take it slow, don't forget to check your surroundings from time to time. We'll meet up at the other end of the tunnel. Southeast applies, there is one over there. Do we see the full cave system? Yeah, we're going to end up down there eventually anyway. Zoom out a bit so I can see a little better. Southwest. Yeah, that's going to put it roughly in that place at the bottom. Okay, so it is down this corridor here. So unusual of them. I thought they had got out of the habit of putting these out the way. Seems everyone has made it through that incident. Nothing of consequence, at least. And, as promised, the tunnel has delivered us to the Medial Circuit. As I recall, this tier is where they keep a wide variety of samples for agricultural production. If Arenvale's assumption hold true, that specimens are being collected in preparations for a great migration, then we should see evidence of such plans in the area's research projects. Let's follow the path to the nearest farming facility and see what we see. I was being careful, I swear. The slope was steeper than I thought, and I lost my footing for a moment. That's all. I'm not injured, if you don't count my pride. Nathan, did you know Kryl almost took a tumble back there? She can't possibly still be dizzy from the lift. The mineshaft was infested with mithril caps. Some sort of research project, I wonder. I suppose they are a most unusual creature. Why did they develop such long limbs when all they do is shuffle around narrow tunnels? Oh, we need to kill one of these. We need to kill one of those, we need to kill two of those. Okay. Long way to the north is where the next one is. Travel. Aether currents. Okay, yeah. We have found the only two that were in the area. That's good. Ah, now I know where we are. This is Medial's Orgonomics. Orgonomics? Agronomics. Labyrinthos is a host of a wide variety of vegetation, which allows us to conduct studies on cultivation methods utilized in foreign lands. And this facility, which coordinates and oversees, this is the facility which coordinates and oversees those efforts. The fruits of their research go to feed their Labyrinthos colleagues, or so I hear. More notable success might be made, might make it to the, Agror. Food so exotic you would be hard-pressed to guess their origin, let alone how they might taste. Indeed, mystery vegetables without a name. Only a list of nutritional benefits scribed on a card. I see no gleaners hereabouts, yet these workers seem to share that same sense of urgency. It is possible they know something of the Forum's plans and their underlying motivations. Worth looking into, wouldn't you say? See what you can coax from the workers, and the rest of us will do the same or cast about for usual clues. He's over there. Cryo. A field full of ripe vegetables being left to rot in the vine. Not a single picker hard at work. Clearly procuring readily available fresh food is not on the Forum's priorities. I'm told this cart holds the harvest meant for the for the larders here. Nothing out of the ordinary. Oh, hello there. We weren't expecting visitors. With no use of the lift being, not with use of the lift being restricted. How did you make it down here anyway? The mine shaft, you say? Well, you are a much hardier soul than I. Under normal circumstances, I'd reward such tenacity with a guided tour of the fields, but I'm afraid the Forum has us fill in orders lists a mile long. Massive yet detailed requests, literally wagon loads of crop samples, and hardly any time to put them together. When first I heard of this grand reorganisation, I assumed we would be shuffling around old stock to make room for new. Then came orders for ridiculous quantities of seeds we've already thoroughly researched. Passing strange, huh? I pressed for an explanation, and was met with a vague assurance that all would be revealed in due course. Not the most satisfying answer. Alpha is over there. And so you've spent years researching these high-yield cultivation techniques. Do I have aught to be taken down below? More than I can carry, and then some. Most of our stock is sent off via the cargo lift, but some has been earmarked for aerial transport. Hence the stack of crops atop that hill over there. God's hauling that lot up that slope was a job and a half. Let's get the intonation correct. Where's your stola? What are you doing hiding over here? I took a moment to survey the surrounding area. There are several other facilities nearby we can investigate if we fail to learn aught of value here. What crops are we raising? Well, as you can see, this is one variant of grape. Only need a good source of sunlight to grow, and the conditions here are nothing short of perfect. Hardly surprising, given that it's native to a particular location or local in the very place upon which Labyrintho was modelled, a region in southern Ilsbard. It boasts remarkable habitable diversity, allowing for a myriad of flora and fauna to thrive. Chilly peaks in the north to give way to swaths of temperate plains, which in turn transition into hot and humid coastlines. Such bountiful territory is ever contested, as you might expect. Used to be called Corvos, before the Imperials renamed it to Locus Animos. The Forum saw it not as a prize, however, but a researcher's ideal environment. One of those climates we strove to recreate in the confines of Labyrinthus. It's since provided a rich foundation for countless experiments in cultivation. east, that way. Actually, given how this map is or this circle is drawn, it probably is up here. I imagine that building's going to become important later. Oh, that's the lift. The labels on these crates tell the story of their contents. Bundles of common seeds and saplings, accompanied by shelves of reports.
Hard to look away, isn't it? But they're more than pretty flowers. Heart blooms are attuned to ambient emotion. You don't seem convinced, but believe me, it's true. This ashen grey, for instance, it mirrors the anxiety and urgency of those working nearby as they rush to fulfill sudden orders. Intense feelings like those spur the petals to change colour. Bright glowing hues in the presence of joy, dark subdued shades for frustration or despair. Yet even with the collected wisdom of Charlian at our disposal, we've yet to identify the underlying principle of this empathic effect. And there are other mysteries besides. Although the flower is extraordinarily long-lived, its low reproductive rate has made it difficult to find younger populations growing in the wild. With too few sightings to map its distribution, and no closely related species to track, we've been unable to pinpoint its land of origin. To further complicate matters, every culture, even dimly aware of its existence, has given it a different name and mythos. Our attempts to study it via the historical record have been an exercise in frustration. As an avid botanist myself, I should one day like to unravel the Heartbloom's secrets. But I'm afraid other duties must take precedence. I will leave you to your thoughts.
They come from the moon. They're going to come from the moon, aren't they?
Have you learned aught of interest? A flower that reacts to one's feelings? Strange. I must say, I have never heard of such a thing.
This is all very fascinating. But as it stands, we fail to gain any significant insight into the Forum's undertaking.
Indeed. While there is certainly enough activity to support Erenville's supposition that a priority has been placed on improving food production, unfortunately for our investigation, these workers were never informed as to how their duties serve the master plan.
If only we could interrogate the Forum members directly.
They wouldn't tell us anything.
Isn't that the entrance to the Archaeum?
There's off wind.
Look, there. I think that's Erenville.
A little difficult to tell from here, but I think you're right. He did say he was coming down to make his report.
Erenville receives his orders from the Forum. Would it not follow, then, that the superior to whom he reports is a Forum member, or at least a close associate?
You mean to eavesdrop on their conversation? What of the risks?
Ours alone to bear. We won't interfere with Erenville's work, nor will he be implicated as an accomplice. If you're not comfortable taking part, I can do this alone.
Nay. I said myself that I wished to know Father's intentions. And no answers will be forthcoming should we simply ask nicely.
We can apologize later, should it come to it. Right now, we need every crumb of information we can get our hands on. Consequences be damned.
It might be best if you came along as well. In fact, we should all...
Kyle?
Cryle?
Oh, yes. That certainly sounds like a plan.
Are the flowers speaking to her?
I'm glad you agree.
Quickly! Erenville is on the move. We need to get closer before we lose him.
Almost. I can almost reach you.
God damn it, I forget how specific it is. The ability to understand anything said to her in any language and its intent, isn't it? I'm sure that's her echo power. It feels wrong to spy on Erenville, helpful as he's been, but what other choice do we have? Let's get after him already. I've waited long enough as it is. Forgive me, my attention has been elsewhere. We were following Erenville, weren't we? Is Cryle still feeling unwell? I've never seen her so distracted. Keep an eye on her, but keep moving too. We can't let our quarry slip away. Okay, we're 40 minutes in. I'm probably going to be doing a little bit of trimming here and there, so we've probably got enough time, or enough chance to be going through. Did you see which way Erenville dwelt? Alisei is not about to let Erenville out of her sight. Erenville was heading westward along the path outside the Arconian, or the Arconian. Come, we can still catch him. Okay, you go that way. I'm going this way. Behind the waterfall? Ah, no, directly below me. You can't see nothing. You turn around, you see me now. Let's try this again. That wasn't number 3. That implies that we're actually going to be heading back here later for some reason. see another one. We've also gone past our destination. Let's get back to where it was supposed to be going. Even that wasn't number 3. I can still hear it. We've fallen too far behind, and this damn mist won't help matters. It seems Justola wishes to have a word with us. Hold a moment, I have an idea. If memory serves, that colossal war-like structure is the Logisticon Beta, one of Labyrinth's climate control centres. It should have its own lifts, with which one could access the upper or lower tiers. Aye, if I were an agent of the Forum, it would make for a convenient meeting place. But even if we happen to find Erenville in the company of said agent, we cannot expect them to reveal issues of import as we nonchalantly... Yeah, that's wrong. Pronunciation is wrong. Continue. Stroll past. Nay, we shall have to remain undetected. I have the hide ability. If only Grara and his vanishing spell were here. I'm a ninja. Literally, this is the thing we do. We sneak. Oh, but there are other ways of turning invisible. Hippity hop, my little toads. Goodness. I love the fact she didn't give them any chance to complain. She just did it. This is why I like you, Stola. Unaccustomed to transfiguration? Worry not, it'll wear off with the passage of time. I suggest you and your green companions hop along and catch up with Erenville. Should you feel the magic's fading, return to me and I will refresh the enchantment. And what am I meant to do in the meantime? Wait here with me. In your current state of mind, you'd be as likely to leap into the jaws of a predator as you would to learn anything of note. Which reminds me, where the creatures hide about hereabouts. In that form, you are essentially defenseless. You have changed into a toad. You must remain transfigured in order to progress with the objective. You will return from your transfigured state if you move too far away. If you move too far away, look to the map for transfiguration areas of effect. Speak with Ristola to restore or prolong the transfiguration. God damn her. Ribbit. Elf Toad and Altoad are now accompanying you. Keep them at side in order to progress with the quest. You can leave the quest. Oh, this is great. Oh, there we go. So this is the area we're allowed to stay in. It's the area we're trying to get to, and we're trying to avoid anything nasty. Hippity hop. That doesn't look safe. turned around. Excellent. You making it? Good. So much for collecting Aether currents. I don't think I... Oh, I can use the compass. I can't use the compass. And here we are. I think Alize is going to be pissed at your Stola when we change back.
I trust you will find your compensation to be more than satisfactory. We wish to make clear that we are pleased with the efficiency and thoroughness of your work. So much so that we have come bearing new tasks in need of your competent hand.
Another lengthy list. If I may speak frankly, the Gleaners have been pushed to the point of collapse by your unending demands. We are not familiars to be exploited. We are Charlean scholars, and we deserve an explanation for this unseemly treatment. What warrants such urgency?
In an age long past, Charlean was charged with a momentous duty. And now that word of the final days hangs heavy in the air, the time has come for us to fulfill that charge. I can say no more, but I promise you this. All will be revealed in due course. And when it has, you will understand that your toil was in service to the greatest good.
So yeah, they are planning an exodus. They don't expect the final days to destroy the world in its entirety. They are trying to run away to preserve the knowledge that they hold, because that's kind of what they do. They observe and they collect knowledge, and if all of them die, that knowledge is lost, so their existence becomes irrelevant. So it's not that they don't believe the final days is coming, they think they can escape it.
Then I will do your bidding. For now. But unless you wish the Gleaners to rise up in protest, I advise you to offer tangible improvements for our working conditions. Your promised revelation does nothing to address present circumstances.
A fair point. Your concerns will be conveyed to the Forum.
Yes, this looks entirely natural. Nervous.
I hope that was informative. You may consider my debt to you repaid in full.
He's not an idiot.
While I do have my reservations about the Forum, I want to believe that they have our best interests at heart. Which is why I'm reassured that you're busy sniffing out the truth of things. We can ill afford to place all our eggs in one basket, this master plan of theirs, without first understanding the risks involved.
Wait! How did you know it was us?
Since when do a trio of frogs just sit there, staring at a couple of people having a conversation? And then just continue to stay there when they've been spotted? We're not
If you mean to impersonate a toad, try studying the real thing. And don't try to fool an expert.
There. Our toad performance needs work, apparently. I'll have to pay more attention next time I see one. I suppose we should have known a gleaner who specialises in animal procurement would not be so easily deceived. Yet he seemed inclined to put his trust in us, all the same. More importantly, perhaps we've discovered a new piece of the puzzle. This monumentous duty the Foreign agent mentioned. Sharlayan has been called to action, and the Telophoroid's declaration was the catalyst. Whatever charge it is they hope to fulfill, they deem it of sufficient import to disrupt all of Labyrinthos, not to mention ignore Eorze's request for aid. Alrighty then. We shall call it there for now, and we'll end this episode here, and I will see you in the next one. And that'll be recorded immediately after this. So yes, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the show, and hopefully... Let me actually turn myself around. I'll see you next time. Cheerio.